Hello everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I have a altered shipping tag with mixed media to share with you. Today is Halloween, if that's what you like to celebrate, or it might be Samhain, or it might be Dia de los Muertos. It could be a lot of different holidays in relation to the end of the harvest and the beginning of the fallow or winter cold season. Fun holiday for a lot of people. Of course, here in the United States, kids are decorating and dressing up and running around the neighborhoods collecting candy. So I will be outside today handing out candy. We're going to have a fire with our outside fire thing that's propane and have some s'mores and hang out outside and see the little kids as they run around. So today I'm being inspired by the mood board from October, which this is the last day for October mood board over in our Art Joy of Sharing Art community. And I realized that we hadn't done anything with the mood board. We've been doing these other challenges and just thought, hey, I'll make a little cute tag. So I've got a manila shipping tag. Manila refers to the type of stock it is, the same type of thing that they make folders out of, things like that. It's a nice smooth paper in kind of a vanilla color. And I always, forever, thought that manila folder and manila cardstock referred to the color because it sounds like vanilla, right? So I thought vanilla, but no, it's was originally manufactured in Manila, so that's the reason that it's called that. Just weird fun facts here. So I drew a little illustration. I started with a pumpkin. That's probably the most interesting, iconic image to me at this time of year, both for Thanksgiving and for the other holidays, just because it just symbolizes fall to me. It's the right color, as if it's like kind of that changing of season color where the leaves change color and turn oranges and reds, and then of course the pumpkins ripen and become orange. We had a little bit of a cold snap, and so all the vines out at the pumpkin patch have died off, and now it just looks like a brown field with a bunch of orange things in it. And that's what happens. It's pretty kind of cool. Just everything kind of turns oranges and reds, and the greens go away. So I always start with pumpkins. I probably have lots of different videos of different type of pumpkin things that happened on my channel over the years. But then I was thinking, as I was looking at the mood board, there's a lion on there. And a lion is a cat. And then I was thinking about Halloween and black cats and the whole mythology behind black cats. And decided to make a little cat. And cats, they like to sometimes attack things. Sometimes people, sometimes, they're stuffed animals or whatever, a pillow, and they'll just kind of jump with all fours and get their little claws out and just grab something and like kind of wrestle it, roll around with it. It's a pretty common cat behavior. And so I thought it would be cute to have this cat kind of attacking it from the back and peeking up over the edge like, look at me, I'm being cute. So that was my idea behind the little quick illustration. I haven't been doing art. I feel very out of practice, and like I almost have forgotten how to do it, but you don't ever really forget, right? So we should all just be getting out something little and playing with it more frequently. I've just been extremely focused on caretaking of other people and haven't had time to do it. Plus, I had people visiting, and my studio becomes a bedroom at that point. So I've just been super busy. So then I got out a few pieces of paper and started to do a little bit of paper piecing, cutting out shapes and gluing them down with some matte medium onto my tag. I find this very therapeutic, the piecing of the paper and the layering of collage is just something that's really, it calms me down. And sure, I could have painted this, I could have colored it, there's lots of different ways to figure out how to put this image onto this tag. Lots of options. Maybe easier ones than this, but I just love collage and I like the way the paper has different patterns in it. These are gel printed pieces from my scrap boxes. I sort all my papers in by color, and then I have them in small and large baskets on a shelf that are marked by color. And so I just grabbed a few little pieces out. And sometimes sometimes I just freehand the shapes. Sometimes I maybe want the shape to be pretty accurate to what I drew. And when I do that, I take a piece of transparent paper. This is deli paper that I use underneath the stuff on my desk so that I don't have to clean up so much. And I put it over the drawing, and then I trace and make kind of a little pattern. It's not exact, but it works, and I can get the shapes of things a little bit easier that way. So when you're doing this type of paper piecing, since the shapes, you don't really want to have to cut them exactly perfect so that they line up. I mean, that's difficult. I just kind of think about what would be behind, what would be in front, what would I put over the top of the other one, so that I can layer them on and make it a little bit easier, the process a little bit easier. So like the paw of the cat goes in front of the pumpkin, so I got to put the pumpkin down first, put the paw over the top of it. If you overlap a little bit, when you do it in this way with things one on top of another, you don't have to worry about overlapping the shapes. So really all I need to worry about is the part that's actually going to show. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to say. So I'm using colors of yellows, oranges, rusty colors like more of a terracotta, brownish colors like that, and just layering them around to get, my shape and color of my fall pumpkin. Did you know that when the idea of carving faces into vegetables to make them scary and scare away the evil fairies or fae or those type of things back in the day, that they carved turnips? Now, I've never carved a turnip. Turnips came before pumpkins, and now of course they would carve a turnip, and then they would put a coal from the fire inside of it to make it glow, and stick it on a stick and put it around their fields on Samhain, so that they could scare away anything that the veil thins out, and they thought that these evil spirits or evil fairies would come through and kidnap people or ruin their crop ruin their dirt, so that the next time they tried to grow in it, it wouldn't work, that type of stuff. So the idea of jack-o'-lanterns actually started out as turnips. I was reading the history of Samhain the other day, and it was interesting, and how the holiday changed from what it originally was to what it is now, which is basically, for us, kids running around in costumes and collecting candy. So, yeah, it was originally a fire ceremony. So I've got a green-eyed cat, and he is attacking the pumpkin, just continuing to put a little bit of this and a little bit of that on there, gluing it down with matte medium, and give it a good dry, and now I'm ready to color over the top and maybe bring out some of the features. I've got Neocolor 2 water-soluble crayons. You can color them on like a crayon, or you can come back in with water, with a water brush or something, and blend it if you want to, which is what I did there. I was trying to get the shading between the segments of the pumpkin. It's not like a basketball where it's round and all one level. Although basketballs do have lines in them, but it's more bumpy. It's got these curved sections going around, all the way around the pumpkin. So, I was trying to make that show up more using different Color 2 crayons, making it look more dimensional. Do I love the way it turned out? No, I don't. I really feel out of sorts, and it's cute enough, but it isn't what I envisioned, I don't think. As I look at it after it's done, it's cute. I added a little, at the beginning I added ink in the background to just kind of color out where the manila color was in the background, but then as I was adding the Neocolor 2s, I decided I could add a little bit of kind of a bluish color. It's supposed to be nighttime, so that's the reason there's the splatter stars on there. And I added a little bit more blue. I used gray and black, but anyway. Then the last step was pretty much to come in with my fine tip Posca pens in black and then white and clean everything up, make the lines more illustrative. And I like the way it looks with lines around things when I'm making a drawing or an illustration. Just like it better. So yeah, this is what I did for the mood board inspiration today. Last day of the month, there will be a new challenge and a new mood board coming out tomorrow, November 1st. I cannot believe it is already November. The year is almost gone, and I've barely done anything. I don't feel that I've contributed too much to the world this year. I just really, I don't know, out of sorts. I decided that this cat maybe wanted to dress up for Halloween, so it dressed up as a skunk. I know you can't tell, but I put a little stripe on the head of where a skunk would have a stripe. So if you were a black cat, you could dress up as a skunk really easily, right? But you can't really tell. Unless I tell you what that is, you don't really know what it is. It just looks like a white puffball on the top of his head. Black cats don't usually have white puffballs. Sometimes you get a black and white cat that has, maybe white around the face and maybe white down the tummy. So I guess you could imagine it's that type of cat. I went to use my white fine tip Posca pen and realized that it was no longer functioning. I'm not sure if I dragged it through some type of something gluey and ruined the tip, or if it's just out of ink. So I grabbed out another one. I buy these in packs of 3 off of Amazon. You can always go to my Amazon link store and you'll find that one. I order a lot of these fine tip Posca pens in black and white, and I order them sets of 3 at a time because it's less expensive that way, and they have some places that have really good prices on the imported ones. So there's the little white highlights and action marks, and add a little bit more black. And then I thought maybe it needed one more thing, and so I ended up getting, I added some more splatter because it seemed like I'd kind of covered up some of the splatter that are supposed to be the stars in the background. And then I got out a stamp that says Happy Halloween, stamped that on there with some VersaFine Clair hybrid ink to try to make sure that it was dark, nice and dark. And then I added some fibers. I ended up layering it onto another piece of cardstock that's kind of a rusty orange color, very pumpkin-y color, and added another little fiber, and that was it. I hope you enjoyed this. Please remember to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment or question below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Join my membership if you'd like to. And of course, you can always come over to Art Joy of Sharing and join our challenges if you haven't joined the group. That's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.